Welcome to the Happy Beyond Fit podcast, the recap of Zincon 2025 and the grand finale of our amazing Aqua tour. How are you feeling?
Beyond happy to be here.
But like really, how are you feeling physically after this marathon?
So honestly, I usually I think we talked about this quickly by a text, and I feel tired. My body feels tired, but I do not feel depleted. Like I don't feel like I gave and I had my energy sucked out of me. I feel like I received energy. I got energy physically. I'm exhausted, but I'm going to teach a Zumba class tonight.
And that is very strange, right? Because this is the first year after presenting at Zincon for 16, 17 years that I feel this way, exactly the same way. People didn't drain me. Is it the first time for you as well?
Exactly. Yeah, it's my first time. I feel like this too. So I was trying to think, what did I do differently? What did you do differently? I want to know.
I think it's part of my evolution, and I meditated every day. That's the only two things. Okay, another thing. I believe because of the podcast and because there were so many people that were telling me, thank you so much for your podcast. I love it. And please keep it up. I feel like finally people know me and I don't have to stress about a certain kind of image because I was always like, concerned about people just see my outside, but they don't know me inside. And that created some kind of stress, I guess. And maybe I was just like more using my energy to try to, I don't know, impress people or connect with people. But this time I didn't have to do anything. I would just sit like hug people, didn't feel the need to say anything, but just receive their love. And I just felt free. And I believe it's because of through the podcast, even though it's not like the whole convention listen to my podcast, but it's like it removed that paranoia from me and I can just be at peace. What do you think? What did you do different?
Well, I just want to comment on that. I wonder, it's another kind of a follow-up to that. Does getting the vulnerable and emotional part out in advance feel like you don't have to bring that to the stage? For example, you told everyone on the podcast that you went through a breakup this year. So instead of starting the class saying, hey, I went through a breakup, I don't know if you know, and then they say, oh no, I feel for you. It's like, we know, we're here to celebrate you, for example.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that helped a lot too, because many people knew the story and the ones that didn't, I don't know, it was just like the energy was already set up in a way that, yes, we're celebrating this. Yes, we know your dog died, but we're celebrating life. Then everybody just like joined the same wave and the same energy. And it was just so beautiful. Or maybe I am just in a fantasy land because for me, dude, like, this convention was like a fantasy, like pinch me, like am I awake? Everything was just so magical that maybe I just didn't even notice anything opposite or outside the magic. Like when you mentioned that you kind of said something too serious to Satomi and you were wondering if you were too harsh. I was there and I was like, how did I miss this? To me, it didn't mean anything. I was there and I was like, no, nothing happened. So maybe I was just in a bubble. Maybe many people notice other things and I am just the one who's living an illusion.
Yeah, delusional beyond fit.
Correct. Yes. Join my delusion because it feels beautiful.
Sign
So
me
what do
up.
you think you did different?
So normally I take on a lot, and this year I took on about the same amount as always, but I also had all the strong stuff, the strong kickoff. And I was also dealing with an injury because I decided to kick a cactus before getting on the plane.
Okay.
So this
Can you
time,
please explain to people why did you decide to kick a cactus?
I should just say I walked on a cactus like a normal person. But I was having a beach weekend with my husband before coming on to Zincon to recharge. And there was a beautiful outdoor shower. And I
Where
showered
were you
and then
guys?
in an island in the south of France.
Yes.
So just a couple hours from our house. So I was just on an island having a little recharge before we go. And there's this beautiful outdoor shower. And instead of taking a towel and drying off like a normal person, I was like, I'm going to shake off because all these plants around look so dry. So I'm going to like give them my recycled water and conserve the planet and recycle them. So I was like shaking my arms, shaking my body. And then I was shaking my legs, but I accidentally shook my foot right into like the spines of a cactus. So right away I was like, "Ooh, that hurt!" And my husband took the tweezers and pulled out all of the the spikes, and they were like tiny little hair-like ones that are hard to get, but he got them all. And then I didn't realize, well, I could feel that there was something there, but when I got to Zincon, I didn't realize that I still had a big spike. It was about the size of my fingernail. So when it
Yes, when
finally
I
came
edit
out,
this episode, I am going to post the picture because when you send it to us, when it finally came out like 2 days into convention, I was like, dude, that is huge.
wow. So this is just what came out of that. Thank you, American medicine. So it made
Like
sense why
how
my feet and my muscles were like just so tensed and tied up. And then of course taking a plane didn't help. So when I landed, I went to urgent care and went to the clinic and just took everything that they gave me. And eventually they gave me this cream too that was supposed to take it out. And the next day I was like, I feel like it's coming out. And I squeezed it as if there
which,
was going to
by
be.
the way, did it feel a little embarrassing to be so injured by such thing?
Well, I was so excited to like make a bang. Like, okay, I'm on the strong team. I'm so excited. I got blue hair. Like, I was expecting people to be like, wow, your hair is blue. You look so cool. But instead, the first thing everyone was saying to me was, oh my gosh, I heard you were limping, but I didn't know it was this bad. Are you okay? What happened? And then I'd have to explain the whole kicking the cactus story over and over again.
So nobody noticed your awesome blue hairstyle because the most noticeable thing was the limping and everybody was concerned.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it stole the show. Okay,
Stole
but
the show.
before you continue with your awesome story, what was the reasoning behind the blue hair?
Ah, the reason behind the blue hair. Well, I knew I was going to be wearing a lot of black this time because I knew I was going to be hanging out at Sync Summit and doing a lot of Strong Nation stuff. But I always wanted people to associate me with Aqua Team because on my last podcast that we did, you said, are we going to lose you to Strong? Are you going to spend your whole time in Strong or we're never going to see you at the pool anymore? So this was my way of saying, don't worry, I'm still Aqua at heart. I'm still 100% blue, but I'm bringing some Aqua to Strong and some Strong to Aqua.
Which, by the way, for those listening to this episode, if you have not listened to my first conversation in the podcast with Richard, go back and listen to it. I end up at the very end, I'm even crying because he decided to be a part of the Strong Nation team. And I was so concerned that I was not even going to see him at Zumba convention because it has happened before that every time an Aqua Zaz joins the Strong Nation team, I just don't see them anymore. And I was so concerned about it. But then at the end, I was like, okay, you just go do your thing. You need to grow. You love this new program for some reason. And so, dude, I am so impressed. Like you were present. Like if it wasn't because I know you were a part of the strong team, I wouldn't have noticed. Like you
I
were
missed
as present in Aqua as always.
I only missed one class, and it was Jenna's class in the afternoon. And I looked at the sky. I was like, it looks like it might rain. So I went and her class did happen. But people came to that class like, I came to the pool and you weren't there. So some people did notice they like went to the pool on purpose during a class because usually I'm at every single class. So
But
I regret.
I haven't asked you this. And every time you didn't reply to my messages, I was like, dude, where were you? Like I kept forgetting that you were so busy with these two big responsibilities at the same time. But you always showed up. I am like blown away. I don't know how you did it. Like the other Zesses have not been able to do it. So now it makes me realize it was actually doable all
It
along.
was
You
possible.
proved it. It was just an excuse. Because you guys train physically very, very hard in a strong nation. So it did not use your energy for you. Like you were able to go full out in your aqua classes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in Strong, I was saying too, I'm here, but give me the bare minimum. Already, I'm the newest one, so my skills are not as physically up to the same as the ones who've been doing it for 10 years and who have backgrounds in martial arts and boxing and judo and things like that. So I said, give me the bare minimum. At the end, they were like, can you spin this rope? And can you hold this rope? And I was like, I've never spun a rope in my life. And at this point, I'm like trying to really stay in minimum zone. So if someone else can spin it, I will grab it off the stage and take it off. But I can't like learn a new skill tonight at midnight before the opening tomorrow. So I was pacing myself in both ways. I was in same in the aqua classes, like people were like, oh, do you want to do a song? And I was like, I'm good. I'm here to watch. I'm here to take photos. I'll do maybe one song, but I'm not going to do 6 songs. So I
Okay,
was
so give me
saving
a
energy
little bit of the
for.
behind the scenes of this fantastic performance that Ailey leads at the kickoff session at Zincon every year with the Strong Nation team. Like, what does it entail? Does she send you guys the choreography before convention? Everybody needs to know it. And then when do you practice? How do you practice? For how many hours? Please give us the tea.
Okay, so the idea is that we start at Rimini Wellness, which is in beginning of June, where we have
By
a
the
ZES and
way,
Master Trainer meeting.
I feel like we just send you as an infiltrated agent for you to give us the tea in Strong Nation. Let's do it.
I'm going to give you all the tea, getting you all the tea. I have an inside scoop now. So it starts in Rimini, where I believe I wasn't there, but they already had the mix and they were already thinking, okay, we could put this here and do that there. But we had to say yes or no, like, yes, I want to be part of it or not, for them to be able to do the blocking. So
Okay.
it's amazing. So there's this technology. It must be
So
come from
Rimini
Nazareth.
Wellness, for everybody to understand, is one of the biggest fitness conventions in the world that happens every year in May or the beginning of June. And it's like, how many people?
They have 800,000 passages. So it's over 4 days. So not all people at the same time, but almost it could be some of the people coming back, but ticketed entries,
Yes,
they have
it's like
800,000.
huge. So
Yeah.
what Zumba has been doing for the last couple of years is that they have been uh, using Rimini Wellness as a mini ZES meeting and Strong Nation Master Trainers meeting, I guess. So most of the ZESs and Master Trainers are joining the team in Rimini, and then they also have like corporate updates and everything. So that's why he's referring to Rimini, because I assume that many of the Master Trainers were in Rimini, so that's why you guys received the choreography there.
Exactly. So they blocked it and they went through a lot of it in Rimini Wellness, but they didn't perform it there. So then from there, they were able to shoot the videos to say, this is what this row needs to do, and this is what this group needs to do. And then through technology, they have like a blocking kind of, I don't know if it's AI, I think it's like an app where Jennifer Hildebrand, who's a ZES and also a professional dance coach, she gives everybody a little dot, and then you're able to see where you fit into the formation. So in the 3-minute performance, what parts you're on, what parts you're off, who's in front of you, who's behind you, if you're off stage, what order on the stairs you need to be in. So it's very well blocked months in advance. So this is very
Oh,
cool. I've
okay.
never used this before. I've never seen this before.
Wow. So, but who comes up with the moves? Eileen mainly, but then everybody gives ideas and helps? Or
Exactly.
what?
So this year, George Yu, a
Uh-huh.
strong bestie, was also working a lot with her hand in hand. Jackie, who's in Taiwan, and I don't know exactly to give the proper credit, but they work as a mini team. But essentially, it's Ailey and Umar, Ailey and her husband, who do a lot of the choreography and the blocking, and have the vision, the music, and how it goes.
Okay.
So I believe Ailey does this all year with the music department. She's saying this move would go in this part. So for her, it's like taking the best of the sequency that she's done all year, so that
Okay.
we can show what we do in a Strong Nation class, but also make people go, wow, that's so cool. So of course there's some performance elements. There was a dragon on stage this year. There were fans.
The
There were
dragon we
props.
wanted for the Aqua theme party.
See, you have an idea and you gotta like hold on to that idea, because if not, the idea floats around and then someone else grabs the idea.
I just don't have a whole company backing up my ideas like Eileen.
But a lot of it's her. Like she's like ordering these props and shipping them to people and figuring it out. So she's just amazing. She does this like, I think she thinks of it for a whole year, the same way that you would prepare an Aqua Zumba class, to have the story on the tour, to have,
Yeah,
like
but
as
we have
much work
never
and
prepared
preparation.
for a whole year. This is like at another level. Yeah, of course, to be that exact, that like, wow, because the performance is very mind blowing. Okay, so then we arrived at Zumba convention in Orlando. Um, Tuesday night is the ZES meeting, and that's your first meeting as well, right? And then
No,
Wednesday, no, you started.
no.
Oh, because
So
you're a jammer.
yeah, so I went to the clinic and I missed the whole morning of the jammer meeting, but the strong team, we actually met on Tuesday morning to start rehearsing. So I saw you at the photo shoot and then I went right to
For how many
rehearsal.
hours?
So we were meant to be there at 12, so we did I think 12 to 5, and then we had our zest dinner from 6, and then from 7 to 10 we were at the restaurant, and then from 10 till 12:31 in the morning we were coming back to the
Rehearsing?
OCCCC rehearsing.
Wow. Okay. And then Wednesday was the ZES meeting and Master Trainers meeting parallel,
Correct.
right? So which
Correct.
one did you attend?
So I actually did the entire strong meeting day. So I came
Okay.
just for a little bit to have the Zest updates, and then I went into Strong Nation for the whole day. But
So
we
what
had the
happens
whole
in that meeting the whole day? Because on this side, for people listening, on the ZES meeting, we have a welcoming, and then we were like fired up by Rodrigo and Benjamin teaching us house with their beautiful spirit. Like they just represent joy, pure joy. And they had us vibrating like a church. And then there came Beto. So they were like the warm up, a whole class warm up. And then when Beto showed up, we were all already in heaven. Beto taught us the most amazing class because it was back to the oldies. It was him only on the stage, no bringing anybody to the stage. It was like we were fully in the experience. It was amazing. And then we had some corporate events, and then we had a motivational speaker, Brandon. I don't know, but he was amazing. So okay, in the meanwhile, in the Justice League, what was happening with the
so
Strong Nation?
we were in our own church. So
Okay.
same religion, different branch. So we did an update with the office and with AP and the marketing team, same as you did in the Zest. And then we did a strong 30 class with Eileen, where she does only, so every strong move, you have a low version, base version, max version. And this is the only class where she does all max the entire class. So it's only 30 minutes, but we were in our own vibe. We were in our own church. So that was awesome, epic, and amazing. And then we did similar to you, we did a live stream on the Strong Nation Instagram channel. And then we went back to rehearsing. So
Okay, so you guys have less of a meeting, more of rehearsal, rehearsal, rehearsal. So on that day, you guys were let out to go shopping because at noon they take us. We're the first ones to enter the store so that we can grab the clothes for our sessions. And before everybody buys all the clothes, so they also let you guys go, right?
yeah, exactly. So we came down, we had half an hour in the shop, which is when we picked our outfits for the
Huh?
aqua classes.
And then the whole afternoon you were rehearsing for the kickoff show.
Exactly.
Until
Yes.
what time?
And then we went
Because you didn't
till
show up for the presenters meeting. The ZES meeting
yeah.
was over at like 5, and at 5:15, 5:30, we had the presenters meeting somewhere else, but you didn't show up. So I assume you were
Did they
practicing.
give away prizes again? Did I miss out?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
amazing. But we're not allowed to say it, so it never happened.
it never happened. So
Yeah, but it was amazing.
I missed the presenter meeting because we did our stage rehearsal, so we had to go back to the stage so the rehearsal was at 7. So we did that by the time we got in and saw the whole thing backstage, which was amazing because Red Foo is there rehearsing. All the people who are going to speak are there rehearsing. All
That
the
was the official
jokes.
rehearsal for the kickoff, I guess.
Exactly. All the jokes that Jean-Nathan Benoit and Loretta Bates weren't allowed to say, we got to hear the day before. Then they did their edit. So it was pretty sweet. It was pretty cool. And then we went back to the room and we filmed. We had pizza delivered. So the pizza came at 11. So I think we finished a little bit. They said it's the earliest they've ever finished. And it was around, I think, 11 p.m. Because then I came to your room. So it was like,
Yes, that's when we filmed the reveal of the cardboard.
the
Because I had
cardboard.
already just filmed one on my own because I'm like, I'm not waiting for Richard to reply to me. I don't know where he is. And then so I did one, and then you showed up immediately after I finished the video. I'm like, okay, let's do the other reveal with you in it. Okay, and then Thursday, which is the official day that Zincon starts, at what time did you need to be in the room ready for your performance?
Not as early as I thought. I think it was 7:30.
Oh,
So we
okay.
warmed
So
up
there was no
together.
rehearsal that morning?
No, because by then it is what it is.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
oof, that's a risky move because I will assume everybody needs to be warmed up.
I would have
Like
loved to run it once in the morning, to be honest. I was
yes.
the one being like, can we? So I did it in my brain, in my mind, but the precision, and I like doing it. I was in the very back. So I was, in my peripheral vision, like just watching, just making sure I didn't do anything too obvious, like putting my arm up when everyone else's arms were down or,
I know the stress of being the only one who messes up.
Especially since there's so many cameras and now I have the blue hair, so now
Yeah,
it's
the
gonna be the
lights were
guy.
like incandescent on your hair. It was like full of lights.
Like everyone was on point except the guy in the back who crossed right instead of left. No, luckily, so I was just very focused on making sure everything was perfect.
Did you make
And
any mistakes?
so actually, this was the first time when we did it on stage that I did it all out correctly. And I think it was like my muscle memory had it, but I didn't know I had it. So that was
Okay.
yeah, that was a out of body
Okay, so how
experience.
did it feel? Because your performance, for how long were you on the stage? 20 seconds? 30
Yeah,
seconds?
so it was a 3 minute proposal. I was at the in the opening, and then there was a second part with weapons, which I didn't do, and then a part that was more fitnessy, which is more my I can do a squat and a plank and run forward and back. So that wasn't so bad. But I had to know the whole thing because then the next day we were all on stage for the whole second half for the Sync Summit. So after we finished the performance, after we taught the Aqua Zumba training from 12 to 9, then at 9 I had to go back and we run everything, but we reblocked it because it was a different stage, a different set. So now we were on for parts we weren't on before. So everything had to change.
So you rehearsed on Thursday night until what time? From
So we
9 to
did
what?
9 till midnight, and then we honestly didn't finish, and it wasn't um, the way that it was exactly you know planned to be, but it was the way that it had to be and meant to be because we were just running out of time.
Okay. Okay, going back to your 20-second uh seconds of fame. How did it feel?
Yeah, so right before I was backstage and I had my moment where I was just like sitting there trying to listen to what was going on. Also, you feel the energy, the wave of the people in the room because that energy I also love. I love the kickoff. It's my favorite moment of every Zincon. It's always one of the things I remember and the Gina and the whole community team and AP's keynote speech. It's just all very well done. So I already had that excitement and emotion flowing. And I was just behind the stage and I was just crying and crying and crying. And I'm like, I don't know why. I'm maybe it's because I'm concerned about this. I'm nervous. What am I doing here? But a lot of the speech, a lot of the keynote was like, you're doing exactly what you need to do. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just show up and do it. So that was also
It was
resonating with
speaking to
me.
you.
Yeah, AP and the whole
Wow.
team, they were just all the messages were straight to me. So I was feeling that, I was receiving it, and yeah, everyone was just like giving me so much love and giving me little massages and hugs, and
They
they
were
were all
hugging
feeling the
you
same way.
because you were
Yeah,
the only one crying?
exactly. I was the new guy. I
The
was like, this is
emotional,
normal.
the emotional guy in this strong team.
It's like this is how we do it in the pool the whole week. We just
We cry.
we
Wow,
watch
you
each
guys
other and we cry
don't?
the whole time. Like,
Yes, I thought you guys would be crying here too. I love it. Okay, so you got on the stage and like, were you able to register to compute what was happening in the moment to inhale it, or it was a whole blur?
so I was lucky because I was pretty much out for the second half of the performance. So I pretty much was in a blur, like, just living in my body and letting my body do what it knew. And then I was able to go, I was off stage, like just on the side because there could only be 28 people on the stage and there were 30 of us. So at any moment there couldn't be all of us on stage because that stage particular has a weight.
Oh.
A particularity with the weight. So we were at our max weight. So it was just me and another girl. We were off stage, but I was watching from backstage and there I was able to take it in because I knew what to do and I'd rehearsed everything because I knew it for the next day, but I was able to take it in as a backstage person saying, okay, wow, I'm
Yes.
a part of this. This is so awesome. They look so bad. Like everything is just really coming together. And at that moment I had that little euphoric, like, yes, I'm right
Yeah,
where I
I
need to
think
be.
this is such a different kind of event, but that I would dare to say that not even Ailey can be present and in the moment, inhaling, doing the performance because everything needs to be so exact, so precise that you just have to concentrate. It's like when you're meditating, you're not thinking of everything. It's like the same thing. I don't think that she will be also able to be like, oh, yes,
Maybe in the moment of
enjoy.
applause or in the split second of the bow, but yeah, not for 3
Correct.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very hard in that kind of performance because
And
it's
there's so
like,
many things that I don't know if you probably didn't notice, but there was like a 30-second pause from when the director gave the cue for the music and when the music actually started. So in that moment, we're like, do you think they have the right track? Do you think the speaker
yes.
died? Like, are we just
Like
gonna
you guys
stay in
didn't know why it
blackout?
was taking so long?
Nope, but they did say it could take a while, like in the rehearsal, like just know it might happen right away as soon as she raises the hand. It might take a minute because then by the time the DJ gets the cue to send to the tech, or there could be something else happening. So just be patient. But in that moment, you're like, you have to be very present. You have to be ready, reactive. You can't be enjoying the moment and thinking, wow, I'm so grateful and lucky to be here. Even though you are, but in that moment, you're just so focused, waiting for the beat to drop.
Yes. Okay. In the meanwhile, on my side of the story, so I am in charge of Daniele because this year is the first year that Richard's husband comes to Zumba convention. So of course, Daniela needed to experience this front row, but only the people in the front row seats are reserved for the ZSs and the master trainers and those that are performing at the kickoff session. So then I show up late so that nobody sees me when the lights are on and the whole thing started. So then we sneak in and we sit on the ZS's seats, but nobody knows that he's not a ZS because nobody's paying attention to us. The ceremony started already. So then I accomplished my goal. I sneak him in. We're on like second row and we're waiting for the strong performance so that I take him in the front. But this year convention is so organized. They are not letting anybody stand up and go like close to the stage to film. Like, I don't know why. Maybe I don't remember it correctly, or maybe I don't know. But I remember people always standing up and doing videos and blah, blah, blah. But this year, like nobody, like they were so adamant that like no videos, control yourself. So then when you guys are going to start, so I rush to the front. I grab Daniele so that he can do a video of you. Of course, husband has to be all proud. And then when the lights come off, because it is going to start, I start running in front of the rows to be like in front of the stage. And then I start, but running like talking down. So he's behind me talking down. And then the place where we stop right in front of the stage, Nancy's right there next to me. Nancy is the producer of the whole Zumba convention. And she yells at me, no, like, get out of here. Like oh my God, like she almost killed me. So then I just turn around and I continue talking down, running towards the opposite side. So then we just moved out another of the rows. And then we just like hiding there, but we were still in the front. So I didn't get my phone out because then I realized my phone has flash. Like she's going to see me if I start videotaping. So I'm like, okay, Daniele is videotaping. So he was next to me and I kept like talking down. I did not come up so that at least there was only one Daniele that was trying to get you more properly. And I was just like there looking at you. So because I didn't get to tape you, I was just looking at you and I was crying, looking at you. I was like, oh my God, he did it. Because I know what it means to you. It means stepping out of the comfort zone. It means you needed to put the effort to continue to improve, to develop new skills, not to get in comfort zone of I am a successful Aqua Zumba presenter, but I need to do this. And even though it feels uncomfortable. So all of these things were in my head and I was just crying, looking at you. Dude, that was like the second most beautiful moment in the whole convention for me. I am so proud of you and all the effort you have put into doing this and being okay, being like, okay, I'm the new guy and I am not going to allow myself to feel bad or to like beat myself up because I'm not doing better faster, but just like taking it in and being a part of the team. And it's just so beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah. I would have said no thanks had we not, like, it was so meticulously blocked that if I said no thanks a day before, it would have thrown the whole team off. So I also had the pressure of the group. Like, I could step out, I could back down, but then they have to reblock the whole thing, and then it's going to cost them a whole extra hour of rehearsal. So I was going to say, oh, my thorn, my foot, I shouldn't do this. But then I said, you know what? They're all here. And once I started saying I have an injured foot, everyone's like, yeah, my back is killing me. Yeah, my knee. Yeah, I have a hip. Like, I was like, okay, actually, a tiny thorn in my foot is nothing compared to all these people coming out of surgery and pushing themselves through. There's a moment to take a break and to really recover. And then there's also moments where once you say, I'm going to do the thing, you got to do the thing
To
because people
show
are
up
counting
and
on
to be
you.
reliable for your team. A totally different kind of teamwork than the one that you're used to in Aqua Zumba.
Where we in Aqua Zumba, I'll just take your song off, no worries. Or you need to leave, I'll just put you higher up. Or we'll just cut that for today. So it's go with the flow, but when it's showtime, it's showtime.
Yes.
So
Wow. So after the performance, were you emotional or not anymore?
I was I was relieved, and I knew I had to do it all again the next day, but it felt like it's done, so the pressure was off.
Yeah,
The
the big
pressure was
performance
off.
was done. Yeah, and it was very wow. Okay, so the next day on Friday, because you taught your aqua training on Thursday from
Yes.
12 to 9, and that's why you couldn't come to my aqua masterclass because you were teaching your training.
How was
And
your
then
master class?
it was beautiful. Okay, the challenge of the stage, I was the first class at the pool. So then the stage, we ended up not being able to use it because I don't know why it was full of soap. So once we started moving on the stage, like we were like sleeping and we would have killed ourselves there. So anyway, a whole ordeal. And then the hotel had to take the stage down and put another one that didn't have soap. But then I had to stop them because they were going to do it while during my class. And they were like, no, you just simply move and teach it from the side so that we can send the people to move. And I'm like, no, what is done is done. We're not going to use this stage today. When it dries off, hopefully the other guys that are presenting aqua later on can use the stage. Mine was wet because it had rained. So wait until the end of the day for you to change the stage. So not only I couldn't use the stage, but they had put the stage so close to the edge of the pool that the space that we had on the deck was like ridiculous. Like we could barely move. So then I grabbed the team before we start the class and I'm like, guys, well, thank you so much for being here. Give it your all, have fun. For some reason, the universe didn't want us to use the stage because, that's the class that I videotape and like the whole paraphernalia. But I said, for some reason, let's just see what the universe wanted. And then we start the class, and you know that I attempted this year to perform the whole class nonstop. Because for people listening in Aqua Zumba, we can never do that because it's so hot that we need to take little breaks. So that's why we have other aqua presenters taking over, teaching a song here and there, strategically placed in the playlist so that we can go back into the canopy, under the canopy, and then refresh ourselves, dry off, drink water, get
Just
ice.
a footnote: her class is 12 p.m. noon in Orlando in August, so it's very hot.
It was extremely hot. And then I was like, no, we're going to do the whole thing, an hour and 15 minutes nonstop. And I want the whole team performing everything. So we start the class, and then I explained to the class, they all saw what was going on with the stage. So I explained, okay, we're not going to be able to use the stage. We have this limited space on the deck. Song number 3 starts, and I realized that's when it hit me. I was already so tired, and it was just the third song. I was like, oh, this is why the universe didn't let us use the stage, because we were moving, we were not going full out. And even though we were not full out, we were already super tired because of the heat. Now imagine we were on the stage full out, we would have died. We would have passed out. So thank God the universe didn't want us to use the stage. So we reduced the energy and the power on our movements. So all our moves were smaller. It still looked cute on the video, decent, but not at our 200%. But that was the only way to survive, dude. We would have died if we were going full out. Like we couldn't kick. Every time we kicked, we kicked the edge of the pool. Every time we kicked to the back, we were kicking the stage. So everything needed to be so reduced. But the class was beautiful regardless. And I don't know. I just felt like so backed up by the universe that it knew that my attempt to do the whole class was very ambitious. and delusional. That's going to be the word of today. Maria's delusion. And then I was like, oh, okay, I do need to take little breaks. But the class was awesome. And then the cardboard moment in which I brought you to the stage, because I said Richard Gormley, he's not able to come to the class, but he's a part of the Aqua Tour. We've been doing the Aqua Tour, and there's some songs about him that I still want to do it. So when we do the Richard Gormley song, everybody just scream as if Richard is here. We're going to keep him present. But I had not shown this. And then when the song started, that's when we put it on the stage, and everybody was like, what? So it was a joke. And then we did the lifting you up with the cardboard. And I said, everybody lift him up as if he's heavy. So it's like 4 people lifting up a cardboard, and everybody was laughing. It was meant to be a joke. And it was perfect. It was what it was, the joke. And that's it. So it served the purpose. And then for the other classes, we were able to do the legit lift, which every time you lift ended up being different. Hilarious. So we have to do a video of the different ways your lift ended up being.
Variations.
Yes.
The basic step and the variation.
Yes.
For the first time at a Zincon, our sessions overlap and we cannot be there for each other's Aqua Zumba master classes. And we're coming back from the Aqua Zumba tour, in which the big hit of the tour was what?
The music, la música.
Wow.
Because Maria Paring, the Queen of Flow, and Richard Go Go Go.
Which were songs specially made for the tour, and we have special moments in the song in which he requires for us to be together in our songs. So since Richard cannot be in my master class tomorrow, I said, you know what? I'm gonna fix this problem. Because I was like, please, Richard, change it, rearrange your schedule, come to the pool just for one song. And he was playing hard to get. And if you know the Queen of Flow, I am not chasing a guy. So, I hope he's thrilled about it.
Yeah, but. We also got the merch. I like this picture too.
Everybody have a think about it on Monday. Wow. And now I can even take him home and talk to him. The Buddha for good luck. Bye, Mark.
We'll take a
I
shot.
gotta get the booty.
There we go.
I just had more slices of pizza.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
So then you taught the whole training, and I was trying to rush to join your training, but I was not able to because I had another performance at Fabio's Hip Revolution. I didn't know you were going to finish your training and go train for Strong. And then the next day, you were the whole day on the Strong Summit? No. In the morning.
No, I just did the opening.
Okay.
And then I did Eileen's. She did a master class with all the master trainers, and she brought us all on stage for a part or for a song. So that was also very special, very cool. She put me for Q4, which is all floor play. And it just happened to be a very yoga like inversion one. So I got to shine in that way.
Oh, yay!
My round kicks and blocks can't. So I was able to shine there. And then I sprinted back because I had my Aqua Zumba masterclass at noon.
Oh, true that. Yes. How did it go?
Well, you were there. So it was amazing. We almost got to finish it. There was a little bit of weather at the end, which meant I got to do almost all. And then I didn't get to do the cool down or like the last song, which was the only part that I had really changed since the Aqua tour. So in a way I was like, well, bummer, that's a wrap. But in another way I was like, well, now I get to save this for Saturday and have that excitement moment for that.
So which was the cool down? Was it Ashley's song?
So the Baila Baila.
Okay. Because since in the Aqua tour, the cool down was my song, then I didn't know which song you were going to do for the cool down.
I didn't
So
either until a couple days before. I was waiting to find the perfect song, and I knew I wanted it to be like to represent what we were doing, but at the same time, I didn't want it to be too like I don't want to leave people like feeling down. I wanted them to like leave uplifted and ready for their next session. So I think like having more of a dance song, it wasn't a true cool down, it wasn't a true stretch, but I knew they were running off to another session
and
anyway
we
or
wanted to
continue.
bring Ashley Bishop's spirit to Zumba convention because this is the first year she's not there, and because she was such a key person in the development of the Aqua Jammers program. So yeah, it was to send her our love and to feel her with us.
And she was there with us in her way. We should have done a cardboard cutout, but you know, we only had how much space and
Dude, now I want to do it for everybody. Like we should have the whole Aqua Zest and Jammers team, but each one will have to invest in their own picture. I can bring them from
and
Miami.
transport.
Yeah, but I think it was very beautiful to have it there. And I just left these two dudes by the lobby at the terrace pool, and they just stayed there and waited for me to pick them up in the last day. But like after my class, like I was not paying attention to it. Nobody was paying attention to it. It was just for what it was. But maybe for some people, it was cool to take a picture. And if the whole team is there, it will be very cool.
Well, did you know about the Blue Lounge? I never heard about this.
What is that?
So every night after everyone finished their sessions, all the Aqua Zumba Blue team, they go to where we get ready for the party, the Blue Lounge, and they go and have drinks and order food and talk and film choreos. Yeah, I didn't know about this. I'm like, how do I get invited? How can I come to the Blue Lounge?
We've
so
never
every night,
received an invitation.
well, so you were there actually, because every night they were saying, oh, Aqua Mom and Dad are telling us to go to bed because tomorrow we have a big day. So every night at like 1 a.m., they were taking their final picture with you. And you'll probably see, now that you know about it, you'll see the tags coming through. But they're like, to finish off the night, they were bringing in the cardboard cutout. And it was like you telling them to go to bed.
The next year, we should all have like a little sign of what we're saying. Go to bed. And then the other one, eat healthy.
Or we
drink
change
water.
it like a little like emoji. Yeah, drink water,
Yeah.
hydrate. Don't eat that.
I love it. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, dude. So I am going to start teaching a B1 training in 20 minutes. So to wrap up the Zincon experience, how would you describe it? Our questions. How would you describe Zumba Convention 2025 in one word?
Euphoric.
Euphoric, okay. And 3 reasons why.
3 reasons why. Well, like you said, I did bring a family member. I brought my husband. And my intention with bringing Daniele was you need to come to Zincon to realize you do not need to come to Zincon. Because I was expecting him to be just waiting around and like, you know, kind of like hanging out like, hey, when are we doing this? Hey, I ordered
There was
dinner.
a whole plot twist with how Daniele turned out to be at Zumba Convention. We thought he was going to be traumatized and never want to join you again. And he joined you on your busiest year ever with Strong
and he had the
Nation
best
and
time.
Aqua Zumba.
I was at this strong meeting and he would drop me off and brought me lunch or whatever. And then like 4 hours later, I came out and I'm like, you're still here? But he's like, yeah, I'm talking to this person. And I met her in Thailand and we're editing videos. So he ended up not only showing up for me, but for the whole team. And then he actually realized, oh, I know a lot of people in Zumba. And even if they didn't, he was able to make a lot of friends and meet a lot of people. So for him to see me in action was very special too, because he understands Zumba and he knows what we do, but at this level in this way, I was proud. I was happy that he was able to.
No, he blew our minds and our hearts by like being so dedicated to the Aqua Zumba team with the videos, bringing the drone, and like 30 minutes after each event, providing a super professional edited video that we have never had done. Like not even when Zumba used to do videos about Aqua Zumba, they were this good. It was like an overwhelming amount of love that I felt every time he sent these videos. I was like, dude, like the fact that you don't have to and you do it. And then the fact that you know exactly what to highlight for the program and like, wow, it was just perfection. So on our side, but that was very selfish. Of course, we're like, yeah, keep doing it. We're benefiting from you working for us, for the team. But on your side, I didn't know if he was really enjoying it or if you were more stressed out because you had your spouse with you. Because I know when I bring, which every year I am with a partner at Zumba convention. This is actually the first year I was single at Zumba convention. It usually stresses me out because I am not able to fully be there for them. It's like I'm in my own world and I cannot give you anything. So
And even when you're done with your day, you're not done.
You're
never,
not.
even if you say, hey, I'm on my way, you're not on your way.
No, it never stops. And you don't know what time you're going to arrive because you find 200 people on the way that you ended up talking with. It's very hectic to be with a spouse. So did it stress you out a little bit or?
And sometimes because I knew he was waiting for me and I told him, don't wait, like order, eat. And then by the last day, he's like, yeah, don't worry. I wasn't waiting for you anyway. You know, like
Okay.
he was gonna leave and go to the airport without me at that point because
Okay,
he
good.
knows he got the memo. You know.
Okay. So did you guys end up fighting over anything?
No, not at all.
Not at
We had a
all?
great time. He had a great time. I think like he's tired too, but I think he's more tired from from having done not so much, whereas I'm tired because I did so much. So now he's like, all right, we're back. Like let's get back into it. Like let's go to the gym. Let's.
And it was beautiful to be able to see you both in the stretch session every morning.
Yeah, that was a huge, yeah, because also waking up at that time with all the extra stuff that I was doing, I had to be in the room for a stretch at 5:30 to cut the AC and to meet the DJ. And we have our system with the DJ. Like we're like, all right, we don't look at each other, we don't talk to each other, we just acknowledge we know each other are there, so we don't have to call anyone to wake up. But then we've kind of got it worked out. And then, you know, at 6:45, 15 minutes before people arrive, then we do a proper sound check and lights and we start talking once the coffee kicks in. But if it wasn't for Daniele in those moments, just being alone and having to wake myself up and get myself going, only having 3-4 hours of sleep every night, it was really nice to know that I just need to talk and he's going to wow us with his yoga
Amazing.
poses.
He didn't do 9 hours of sleeping yesterday, just so you know. Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
that was reassuring. So he had
So
a
you
huge
were
value.
saying Euphoria because of Strong Nation, because
Strong
of Daniele
Nation.
being there, and third reason?
I think for me, I had my best aqua class. Like my best Aqua Zumba class in my life was in 2015, which is actually
one
the
was
year.
it?
It was actually the year you didn't come.
The one you had all the jammers with you.
No, not that
No?
one. It
Okay.
was one I had the flags and I had two classes
Okay.
back to back because they had accidentally double sold it. And I think I ended up teaching your classes because you were having an intense family year. And it was the first time where I was going not as your assistant, but to really lead my own sessions. And I think I
Okay.
surprised myself and everybody there because they were like, where's Maria? Where's Maria? Maria, Maria, Maria. So you were there on everyone was really missing you. And then I did.
Oh, that was the convention because one year I decided not to go to Zumba convention. I took
I
a
think your
year
mom
off.
had passed away. Yeah.
Yes. Ah, okay. I remember.
So-
Okay, got it.
So yeah, so that was the year where like I didn't know I could do what I did. Like I knew what I could do because we were teaching together and I was helping you and hopefully making the program look good. But that was the first year that it was all me and my name on the sign and my, you know, it was all me. And I did it and I surprised everyone. They're like, wow, that was really good. But I also surprised myself. I was like, wow, that was really good. So that like kind of like surreal, authentic moment. I've tried to do it again the next year and I was like, oh, it was good, but it wasn't good as 2015. The next year, oh, it was good, but it wasn't good. So now finally 10 years later, I'm like this class, the Saturday, Friday was also very good. But these classes, this playlist, this music, this energy, this flow was the best class of my life. And I hadn't been able to do that since 2015. So I was like, yes,
So
I
you're
finally
talking
topped
about the class as the playlist, but
the
not as in a
playlist,
day.
but also I've never seen you jump in the water. You were in the water, like synchronized swimming, like flipping over. Like I would have to say too, and usually I'm so dependent on surprises and other people show up. Like we've had, you know, artists that perform with Zumba, Max Pisolante, I've had Francesca Maria, you've had Watata. It's always depending on if they come, and if not, we'll do it another way. And this time I was like, okay, I got my celebrities, I got my stars. I have Maria, I have Satomi, I have Michelle, I have Jojo, I have my team, I have my people here, and I know how it's gonna go, and they're all professional, so I just like ride with it. And it was magical and euphoric because of us, and we brought that. We weren't depending on a photographer to show up or something from outside, but we created that magic. And I think the people in the pool were feeling it. And that's why we had to jump in the pool, because we had to feel what they were feeling. And it just really brought it full circle.
Now,
So
question, was the Aqua Zumba tour that we did in June a big part of this Euphoria at Zumba convention?
definitely, I think the build up and the fact that I don't want to call that practice, but I was so confident with everything that we had done, had gone so well, and was so well received on the tour, that I knew it was going to be well received at the class, especially with the people who'd been part of the tour there watching with us, dancing with us. So that was magic.
Yes, it's like it allowed us to fly to and reach higher heights because we had such a strong foundation of the flow in between the four of us, right? As Satomi, Michelle, you and I. That even if we invited some other presenters last minute and they knew the choreographies, we knew we had this strong foundation with the team. And it was not just regarding knowing a choreography very well, but like meshing with each other's energy and delivering the same kind of energy and feelings through every
and knowing
song.
that if you would drop me during a lift, that I would have full confidence in you dropping me.
Yes.
Because I trust you that much.
Yes, it was also empowering for Satomi and Michelle for them to step up more than feeling that they are the backup dancers, but to be one with us and to like to take more ownership without feeling that they are being intrusive. Because it's only that they are so respectful that they had not stepped up, that taken that extra step to like, okay, this is my class too, and we're gonna deliver it together. And they were just like, okay, I'm the backup dancer. But now it was different. It was them taking
They've earned
ownership
it.
as well.
They've earned it.
Yes. And shining like amazingly, and us being so proud of them and celebrating what amazing professionals they are.
What's your word?
My word is freedom. Yes. I've never been this free at a Zumba convention, and probably in my life. Everything, even like the haircut, is reflecting the freedom. I just went through the whole convention with a different energy. I felt like I was not even touching the floor, and not because I think I'm something, but because I just felt so light that I was just like flowing from one thing to another. I'm gonna cry. Very, very special, very representative of what's happening in my life, and to be able to enjoy it with you guys. And obviously, because we had this amazing time together in June during the Aqua Tour, and this going through struggles when my dog died, and going through it with you guys, with you, Satomi, Michelle. Of course, our bond is stronger because of that, because we grow stronger together when we go through struggles. And then like overcoming many things, and you guys knowing me at a deeper level. And then you guys being there celebrating with me every single thing. And for people to know the story of this, Richard is the one who every single convention gets in the pool at the end of his classes, not only because it's so hot and it feels so good to refresh, but like to be in the same energy with people. And he usually does a circle and does stuff in the last song or two in his classes. I'd never done it. For what reason? I don't know. I just had never done it.
Logistics, hair, makeup, shoes. It's harder to. I think it's harder for a girl to jump in.
It is much harder. The hair, definitely, with all my curls and all the product, and then leaving all the product on the pool water. So it's not as simple. But anyway, if I had wanted to do it, I would have made it happen when I had a bun or like. It's not just that limitation. It was just that I never felt drawn to doing that. And this year, the water was calling me. When I saw saw you get in the water because I didn't know you were going to get in the water and do that circle. And then I just saw you and I was like, I got to jump in there. I take off my top because I was wearing a bikini, take off my shoes, run. And I like, and you are giving your back to me. So I was going to surprise you. But I think somebody gave you they pointed. Was it Daniele or somebody pointed at you because you turned around before I surprised you? And then so I jump in the water and I start like jumping and then nipples out. I'm like, wait a minute. I forgot to tie this. I was not ready for this last minute decision. So it took me a while to tie my bikini up strongly and I kept looking at it. But it was such a beautiful moment. And then I started listening to the lyrics of the song and then you were singing it to me and like I could just see your happiness and your love through your eyes. It was so special, dude. What a moment. What a moment. So beautiful.
That was the moment. I think that was my moment. My number one. More than being on the stage for Strong, more than teaching a great training, more than leading the class, it was seeing you in the most authentic, perfect version of yourself.
Yes.
And
Thank
sharing
you,
that
baby.
with us and feeling that.
It was definitely the moment. It was very how I'm feeling right now. That it has taken a lot of work to be able to feel this free. And thank you for being there for me and celebrating it with me. I needed you to celebrate for even these AI songs that were so ridiculous, bragging about us. In a way, God knew that I needed it and I needed you to celebrate me. And thank you for all your love. We gotta end crying because I
You're
gotta
the
set
queen
up
of
for the
flow.
B1. But I love it that I wanted to meet with you and to have these words and wrap up and conclusions before we move on to the next chapter in life. I love you so much. I'm so privileged to have you in my life. Thank you.
Ingwale, I love you too. Thank you for doing this. Thanks for everything. And keep being you, because that's the best gift you can give to us and the entire universe, the entire world. So thank you.
Thank you, mi amor. And I can't wait to continue to witness all of our growth together. I love you. Thank you.
Love you. Love you. Have a great training.
Yes.